Sorry about that. I know I'm a little late. Don't ask what that was. Well, anyway, I'm the Enigma, and you're watching Paradox Inc. Hello and welcome to the second installment of Paradox Inc. We're going to switch up the format this week. On the last episode, we had 3 guests, 3 tattoos, and 3 wonderful stories behind them. Today, we're going to focus on one guest, have them showcase 1 tattoo, and then we're going to take a look at all the other ink they have and get their opinion on tattoos in society. My guest at this time is going to be Sheldon Wade Hubbard. Alrighty, my guest at this time is Wade. Wade, thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, no problem, man. Anytime.
Alright, first and foremost, I asked this of all my guests, how did you get into tattoos?
Oh, I got into tattoos because I pretty much grew up around them. Like, my dad had tattoos, uncles, aunts. Like, I just kind of, especially with the kind of music they listened to, like, they were like classic rockers, yeah. Like, so they grew up with music from like the 70s, 80s. So like, they all had tattoos, and like, it was cool. Like, in growing up, I was like, I want a tattoo, and like, it was
one leads to another. So I understand today you have a tattoo from a franchise that you really enjoy that you would like to share with us today.
Absolutely. It's the Harry Potter franchise series. I have the Dark Mark. I like the books, movies, the whole 9 yards. I read the first book when I was 7, and I just kept up with it over the years as they went out. I think the first 4 were out when I started reading them. I read the first 4 in like a year. It was amazing for my age, but I read the books growing up, and they were really impactful to me. Like, they held messages that like definitely went into the deeper meaning. Like,
nice. I couldn't even read when I was 7 years old.
Right.
So why specifically the Dark Mark?
The Dark Mark. I have the Dark Mark on this arm specifically because, one, it's accurate. They all have them on their left arm.
All right.
And I'm actually devoting my forearms to Harry Potter, and the left arm is going to be like the evil and like the dark aspects of it. So I have this. I'm gonna have Azkaban Prison going up the side of my arm with like Dementors and like the ocean scene and everything. And then on this side, I'm getting a cuff of Hogwarts Castle, and I'm getting my crest. I'm getting Ravenclaw. For you Ravenclaws out there. But I'm gonna get like Hagrid's Hut, like Deathly Hallows, Goblet of Fire, and like.
So you're gonna be pretty like half sleeved with the Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like the Harry Potter half sleeves are gonna lead into the top half sleeves. They're all gonna work into
blend
each
together.
Other. Yeah.
So you basically got those all planned out.
Oh yeah, I've been thinking about this for since I was like 17.
Nice.
So 5 years of just constant like turning it over in my head. Like, what am I gonna get? Like, got my first tattoo when I was 19. And I just kind of kept getting them. I have 5 now and counting, of course.
Well, it's been fun having you on the show.
Absolutely.
I just want to thank you again for coming on.
Always.
All right. And now we're going to go and ask Sheldon about some of the tattoo ideas he has coming up in the future. We've established some already, but now we're going to get an in-depth look.
So I mentioned previously that my Harry Potter forearm sleeves are going to lead into the tops of my arms. Well, on this I have, of course, my first tattoo, PMA, Positive Mental Attitude. I got the idea from a band, actually, Alisana. I listened to them a lot in high school, and they were definitely one of those bands that kind of dug me out of some shit, you know. And I watched an interview with them when I was about 17, and they mentioned how each member of the band had Positive Mental Attitude, PMA, tattooed somewhere on their body. And they kind of just went into the whole spiel about what it meant to them and why they have it. It's because they're on tour a lot, and they have families, they're all married, like they have kids, and so like times get really hard, and like it gets stressful and like depressing really, and they have Positive Mental Attitude to remind them to just keep positive, see the brighter side of things. So it's a reminder, and I got it somewhere pretty noticeable, so like I see it every day, like when I shower, when I get up in the morning. and it's just definitely a friendly reminder to keep a positive mindset. Don't let like negative energy just drown you out. And then I have to segue from that, I have my Jesus fish, the ichthys, if you will. And I have this bad boy. This one's a leg tattoo, so I'm going to stand up for this one.
Interesting. You know, now that we've seen all your tattoos, got a little bit of the stories behind them, what do you think about tattoos in society? We've come a long way, we're progressively getting accepted, and now I'd like to know your thoughts on the matter.
People in the tattooed community, they're just the nicest people like I've ever met. Most of them are the nicest people I've ever met. The vast majority. But I find them to also be the most interesting people, because most of the time if you have tattoos, you have stories. And because each tattoo holds a story, even if it's not an extremely life-changing story.
Right, so how do you feel about the progression of how the acceptance of tattoo culture is like growing popularity in modern culture?
Yeah, tattoos are definitely way more accepted nowadays than they used to be. Because especially like, I don't know statistics or anything, but it definitely blows your mind like how many people have at least a tattoo. Like, because tattoos were like for the rough and tough crowd. Like most people who had tattoos were like either in the military or they've been to jail. Like that was the old stereotype basically. But now like when people have tattoos, most of the time, when someone notices you have a tattoo, they'll ask you about it, and it's just a great conversation starter, and it's definitely something that can bring people together.
Alright everyone, this has been the second installment of Paradoxing. I hope you enjoyed the show and enjoyed our guest. Until next time, I'm the Enigma, and you've been watching Paradoxing. Thank you, and good night.
Love is a flame that can be tamed, and though we are its willing prey, my darling, we are not the ones to blame.